Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much to all the devotees for kindly giving your time and joining. So we are reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 10, Text number 3. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha tasyānucaritaṁ rājann ṛṣibhistava-darśibhiḥ śrutaṁ हि varṇitaṁ bhūri tvayā sītā-pater muhuḥ. Translation. O King Parīkṣit, the transcendental activities of Lord Rāmacandra have been described by a great saintly person who have seen the truth. Because you have heard again and again about Lord Ramchandra, the husband of Mother Sita, I shall describe these activities only in brief. Please listen. Purport. Modern Rakshasas posing as educationally advanced merely because they have doctorates have tried to prove that Lord Ramacandra is not the supreme personality of Godhead but an ordinary person. But those who are learned and spiritually advanced will never accept such notions. They will accept the description of Lord Ramacandra and his activities only as presented by the tattva-darśibhiḥ. Those who know the absolute truth in Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead advises, Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Unless one is a tattva-darshi in complete knowledge of absolute truth, one cannot describe the activities of personality of Godhead. Therefore, although there are so many so-called Ramayanas or histories of Lord Ramachandra's activity, some of them are not actually authoritative. Sometimes Lord Ramachandra's activities are described in terms of one's own imagination, speculations, or material sentiments. But the characteristic of Lord Ramachandra should not be handled as something imaginary. While describing the history of Lord Ramachandra, Shukdev Goswami told Maharaj Parīkṣit, "You have already heard about the activities of Lord Ramachandra. Apparently, therefore, 5,000 years ago, there were many Ramayanas or histories of Lord Ramachandra's activities, and there are many still. But we must select only those books written by Tattva-darshi, Jnaninas Tattva-darshinah, not the book of so-called scholars who claim knowledge only on the basis of a doctorate." This is a warning by Shukdev Goswami. ṛṣibhis tattva-darśibhiḥ. Although the Ramayana composed by Valmiki is a huge literature, the same activities are summarized here by Shukdev Goswami in a few verses. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vande Ham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurun Dīnatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Ete cham sakalah pumsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indriyari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for kindly giving your valuable time and joining for Srimad Bhagavatam class. Honestly, I am not a very good speaker and I am also learning Srimad Bhagavatam. But to purify myself, to read Srimad Bhagavatam in more depth, I like to repeat what I have heard from my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, so that I can learn Srimad Bhagavatam better and purify myself fastly. So, in case if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to correct me and give your valuable opinions. So, today we are reading from 9th Canto, chapter 10, text 3, where Shukdev Goswami is describing to King Parīkṣit the pastimes of Lord Ramacandra. And he is describing how, since Parikshit Maharaj has heard the pastimes again and again of Lord Ramacandra, so he will give a brief overview of the pastimes of Lord Ramacandra. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada has described that how there are modern Rakshasas who poses themselves as educationally advanced only because of some degree, and they have tried to prove how Lord Ramacandra is not supreme personality of Godhead, but an ordinary person like you and me. Many times we hear from many so-called today's scholarly gurus or even politicians considering Lord Ram to be a poor fellow, right? But this is strongly condemned here, we see, by Srila Prabhupada, because Lord Ramachandra is not an ordinary human being like you and me, but he is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the reservoir of all pleasures. He is the topmost Narottam human being. He is the best among human beings. But the ordinary foolish human beings in Kali Yuga, sometimes they get good degrees in academics, and because of they think that they are very great, and they act following in the footsteps of following in the footsteps of Ravan, thinking Ram to be an ordinary human being. Even Ravan, when he encountered Ram, he was also thinking that this is a human being, and I am a Rakshas. I will easily defeat him. He has come only with some monkeys to my kingdom to fight with me. And I am the Rakshas Raj, I am the king of all Rakshasas. My son Indrajit has defeated Indra also. My brother Kumbhakaran, when he walks, all the demigod forces run away. And I have best of the artillery, the machines to attack on the enemy. And what this Ram has, he has just the monkeys who are coming with some stones and tree. How they will defeat me? It is impossible. And he was deriding Lord Ram like that. But sure enough, we see what was the result. Not only Ravan, his completely dynasty was destroyed. Only person who survived was from his dynasty was Vibhishan, who took shelter of Lord Ram. Right? And his son was killed in front of him. His brother, for whom he was so much proud, was killed in front of him. And eventually he himself was killed, and he was never able to enjoy the Sita Devi for what he took such a big war. He was not able to fulfill his own desire also, and he was only in loss. Why? Because he was having a conception that this Lord Ramchandra is an ordinary human being. And this is the situation with modern academic, scholarly, atheistic, foolish people also, Srila Prabhupada is describing here, because they are considering Supreme Lord to be an ordinary person. Many times we see father of a nation, he criticizes Krishna, saying that, okay, I accept Ram because he is morally virtuous, but I don't accept Krishna because he did so many mischievous things. So Srila Prabhupada describes that who is a Mahatma. Mahatma is a person who understands that he is not the body, but he is the super soul, and the duty of the soul is to serve super soul or Ram or Krishna. We see in Ramayana when Hanumanji was captured by Indrajit finally, af- after he created a big disturbance in the Ashoka forest of Ravan, Indrajit bound him and brought him in front of Ravan. And Ravan at that time asked him, "Who are you?" And Hanumanji never said that I am son of Keshri. He said that Dasoham Kaushalendrasya. I am the servant of Indra of Kaushal, or the king of the Kaushal. So, Kaushal is the kingdom where Dasharath ruled. And Dasharath actually wanted to make Ram to be his next successor, to be the next king. So, the person who is ruling the Kaushal kingdom, I am his servant. That's what Hanuman introduces himself to be. And after, you know, Ravan, he humiliates Hanuman very much. Many Rakshasas laugh on him. They put bad words about Ram. They put bad words about him. And Ravan is thinking this is a monkey, and I am a Rakshas. We should have a feast on his body. But Vibhishan somehow intervenes. And then he says, okay, we will just humiliate the monkey to the best and we will leave him because he is an ambassador. He cannot be killed. So Ravan, he tells that his tail should be burnt, right? And then he will be without tail and everyone will laugh on him because the pride of a monkey is his tail. We also have pride nowadays in our Kali Yuga. What is the pride which normal materialistic person have? How much costly car is, you know, or how much luxurious residential place is, or how much better job is. And the person, despite having all these things, may not be happy personally. He may not be satisfied, but he want to show off to others, and that's why he's considering that I am so very happy. So this is the notion in Kali Yuga. So similarly, Ravan, being a very materialistic person, he thought that just by burning the tail of this monkey, I will make him depressed, and thereby he will be humiliated and a very strong message will go on Ram. But it backfired because he knew very less that actually Hanumanji was incarnation of partial expansion of Lord Shiva, who has come to assist Lord Ram. And when they burnt the tail of Hanuman, Hanuman went throughout the Lanka and burnt throughout the Lanka before the war only. The kingdom is burnt. Yeah. And despite this warning, Ravan thought still I can win. Still I can battle with Ram and I can defeat him. And his ministers also were supporting this. Only person who was his real friend was Vibhishan, who was trying to tell him that Ram is supreme personality of Godhead. It is not me saying this, it is scriptures saying this. Don't work on speculation, work on the scriptural authority. Give back Sita and everything will be restored again how it is. But Ravan, being in a very bad association, being provoked by his false friends, that you are the winner of Indra, you are the winner of Yamraj, even Yamraj couldn't defeat you. All the false promises they were putting on him. And Ravan got carried away eventually by that, and he didn't listen to the good advice of Vibhishan. On the contrary, he gave up the company, he banished Vibhishan from his kingdom. So, this is the problem of having false friends around us. And in today's world, who are these false friends? The atheist best academians, colleagues, or our college mates, who may be very good academically, who may be very good materially, even sometimes better than us, but they tell us that why you are going to Krishna, why you are worshipping Rama, what is the use of it, what will happen by this. But very little these people actually know that very soon a time is going to come when this body will start becoming old, when slowly our diseases starting conquering us, old age will start conquering us, and eventually we will leave our body. And that time when a person is leaving body, none of these friends come. They will be just not caring. Even when we pass out of our university, how many friends are really in touch with us? None of us, none of them, right? Even we might have left some job previously. How many colleagues are actually in touch with us? None of them. So these people will be leaving us. But scriptures describe that even if we change our body, one person will be always accompanying us. And that is the super soul. Sarvasya chaham hridisan nivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedeshu sarvam ahameva vedo vedanta krutvev videva chaham. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I am sitting within our heart, in within everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, forgetfulness, the karmic reactions. And I am the essential truth for which the Vedas are meant. The purpose of studying Vedas is to know Krishna. So, this is why the Krishna consciousness is a very important thing. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that Krishna consciousness is an emergency, and it cannot wait for anything else. So whether we are having job, whether we are a student, whether we are in old age, whether we are some big politician, whether we are whatever we may be, Krishna consciousness is an emergency, because it is the solution for solving the problem of cycle of birth and death. And this is the only reason why the human life is there. In other forms of life, we will see it is not possible for living entities to solve the problems of life. For example, a dog or a cat, an insect or a plant, they cannot take up beads and chant the rounds. They cannot come for Srimad Bhagavatam class. They cannot do some service. It's not possible in these lower species of life. But only in human form of life it is possible that we can visit the temple, we can chant the holy name, we can take Krishna Prasad, we can do services, we can hear Srimad Bhagavatam. And if we see the material life, we will find material life is full of miseries. If someone has no money, it is a misery. If someone has lot of money, it is also a misery, because then many other people become enemies and they try to take the money, and then the person has to struggle very hard to keep the money, right? Similarly, if someone is not famous, it's a problem. But if someone becomes famous, it's a problem. For example, if someone is not famous, then he will feel depressed. He will feel envious of those who are famous. But if someone really gets a fame, for example, in George Harrison life, it is described he became a very famous person. He was a very famous singer. So much so that when he used to go to hotel, the people will be not allowing him to eat peacefully in a restaurant. And even while he is about to leave, the restaurant owners will be coming and trying to grab the towel with which he cleaned his mouth, the plate in which he ate, the loaf or the spoon in which he ate. Why? Because then they could sell it for very high prices. No personal life. Everywhere there is a disturbance because he was famous. So, whether we are having no opulence or whether we are having opulence materially, it is always a problem. And better situation is when we don't have it. Kunti Maharani says that four qualities are biggest disqualification on the spiritual path. Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribir Edamad Madah Puman. Janma, if someone is born very high. Aishwarya, if someone is having lot of wealth. Shruta, if someone is having lot of academic, material, mundane knowledge. Shri, if someone is having, how to say, lot of fame. These all are disqualifications for spiritual life because they bring pride into oneself. For example, if we try to preach a normal, ordinary person in street, giving him Bhagavad Gita, we may find some time he may take. But if some very big politician is coming, if some very rich person is going, it's very difficult to give him Bhagavad Gita, to tell him the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And even if we tell him, he will do some politics, or his guards will stop us from approaching him. So we are in a very good situation when we don't have these opulences. No, we are, I mean, having moderate money, we are having moderate fame, we are having moderate everything. So, this is a very good opportunity to engage ourselves deeply into Krishna consciousness instead of running unnecessarily behind the material hankerings. Because if they are supposed to come, they will come automatically. And if they are not supposed to come, whatever we do, they will never come. So, the best thing is which we can do in our life, for which we will never repent at the time of death, is performance of devotional service. Because death is going to come, there is no second choice. And the problem is we don't know when it is going to come. Whether we are sitting in flight, suddenly flight takes off, and after some seconds, the flight may crash. We are traveling in some car crash is possible. Or nowadays, there are gunmen who come suddenly and shoot people unnecessarily, innocent people. Or some disease may capture us, or we never know what may happen. So, Srimad Bhagavatam describes padam padam yat vipadam na tesham. In this material world, at every step there is a danger. So we are in a very grievous situation from the perspective that death can come to us anytime, material misery can come to us anytime. But at the present moment, we are in a good situation, we are in a good health, and therefore it is a prime duty of a human being that he should take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, he should take the shelter of Bhagavad Gita, he should take shelter of chanting of the holy name, performance of devotional service. And how to do it, Srila Prabhupada is describing तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. That one has to take shelter of a spiritual master first, and then he can actually perform devotional service. Many times people say, why I need a spiritual master, such nice books are there, I will just come do some rounds, read some books and then finish. But we will find such a person may be able to do devotional service for couple of months, maybe some years, but eventually he will leave the chanting. He will go behind the material hankering. He will go behind wasting time. So why this is happening? Because he is taking shelter of his mind. Whatever his mind says, he listens to that. So solution for this problem of overcoming mind is we have to accept a bona fide spiritual master, serve under them, and then we will find we will be able to chant, we will be able to read despite a long duration. I remember when I came in 2016 or 2015 in Munich, I was quite inconsistent in chanting. But then eventually I came in association with Mataji Dankeli and other devotees. And because of their association, 10 years have passed. Now 2026 is coming. And not even one day has happened that I have missed my rounds. So why? Because I am in association of tattva-darshi like Mataji Dankeli. She has seen the tattva, she has understood this by practicing it under a bona fide spiritual master. So she also, if we see, is not independent. She is also taking shelter of a spiritual master, Krishna Kshetra Swami Maharaj. And then she is engaging other sincere candidates also in devotional service. And she herself also engages, right? So this is a qualification of a tattva-darshi. What is the qualification? That he or she must have taken a spiritual master himself or herself and serving under his guidance or her guidance. And then such person when we associate with, then our devotional service also continue. It doesn't take much difficulty. So ISKCON also has this guru system, which is described very elaborately in a course called ISKCON Disciple Course. So if someone is interested in ISKCON Disciple Course, this is happening in November. There is a very senior devotee, Damodar Priya Mataji. She will conducting it in November. So in case someone wants, they can contact me or Dankeli Mataji or Yashwant Prabhu, and we can enroll them. in this ISKCON disciple course, where it is described who is the service authority, who is the spiritual authority. So, for example, even I also am a disciple of Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and under him I have my Shiksha Guru also, who constantly guide me spiritually. So, a spiritual master is very important. He is like a navigation for us. He sets the guidance for us, which direction to take, which not to take. Srila Prabhupada gives a very interesting example in this regard, that if we see the case of aeroplane, even a mistake of 1 degree in direction if a pilot makes, it may be possible that after over a period of time the flight may be, instead of going to one continent, may land into another continent. This is possible just by initial mistake of 1 degree. So guru is a person who helps disciple always to set his direction in the right degree, in the right direction. And the most important thing which a guru does in the life of a disciple is he gives him or her the holy name. ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते कोनो भाग्यवान जीव गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे पाए भक्ति लता बीज. Very rare person in this mrityu lok, he accepts a bona fide spiritual master, and by the grace of such a bona fide spiritual master, one accepts the holy name by which he can nurture the devotional creeper which is sitting within one's heart. So it is very important, if we are sincere in devotional service, that we must accept a bona fide spiritual master. If we are beginning in spirituality in Hare Krishna movement, then of course Srila Prabhupada is our spiritual master. But eventually we have to accept a living guru, because a living guru can give corrections. A living guru can give navigation for us where our spiritual life will should direct to, should head to. And we see even when Krishna comes in this material world, he accepts a spiritual master, Sandipani Muni. Even Lord Ram, when he comes into this material world, he accepts a spiritual master, Vishwamitra. So we see even Supreme Personality of Godhead, even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Yuga Avatar for us, we see how he accepted Ishwar Puri as his spiritual master. Because the nature of mind is chanchalam hi manah Krishna pramati balavadrudam tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. Arjuna, a warrior like him, is saying, Krishna, I can even control big whirlpools or big winds which are flowing around. For example, many times we see some very strong tornado comes or Katrina comes, and the government says to people, just evacuate. So Arjuna is saying, I will not tell my people to evacuate. I will fight with that tornado and get rid of it. This much power I have. If we compare our power, we cannot even control the gas which is in our body, right? Sometimes unexpectedly burp comes out from above or down. We cannot control even that wind. But Arjuna is saying, I can control the wind which is flowing strongly. But it's very difficult for me to control my mind. Mind is so powerful. So, therefore, we have, what is the solution which Krishna is suggesting? This is the solution. Accept a bona fide spiritual master. Accept a person who himself has been in parampara system. So, there are 4 parampara system according to Padma Puran: Shri Sampradaya, Kumar Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, and Rudra Sampradaya. These are the 4 schools of Vaishnavism. Vaishnavism is a process of getting rid of cycle of birth and death, and there are 4 bona fide schools. And we are in the Sampradaya called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So Brahmaji is the person who received directly the knowledge from Krishna in our Sampradaya, and he passed this knowledge to his famous disciple Narad Muni. And Narad Muni gives this knowledge to Vyasdev, who is the literary incarnation of Vishnu or Krishna in, 4 Puranas. 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 4 beginning of Kali Yuga to write down all scriptures. So in previous ages, we were not having scriptures in written format till Treta Yuga. Why? Because the people in those ages were Shrutidhar. Whatever they used to hear, they used to remember throughout their life. But understanding that Kali Yuga, people will be very sinful and they will not be able to remember what they have heard, Krishna personally descends in the incarnation of Vyasdev to write down all the literatures. And we see Srimad Bhagavatam also is actually written by Vyasdev. And it's a very good fortune, therefore, that we have now very easy access to Srimad Bhagavatam also. Even in mobile phone, when we are traveling, we can read it. Even we have audio books of Srimad Bhagavatam. If we are not in a mood to read, we can hear Srimad Bhagavatam. There are so many lecture. Every day we have a lecture of Srimad Bhagavatam in our temple. And a guru, what he does, he basically sets a plan for the disciple that he should be able to chant daily, he should be able to do services daily, should be able to hear this Hari Katha daily. And this is what helps one to control the mind, fix one's mind on Krishna, and anta kale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Krishna says, whatever one remembers at the time of death, one attains that state without fail. And when we perform devotional service throughout our life, the Paramatma sitting within our heart knows our sincerity. And at the time of death, it will give the right remembrance. And this is how the freedom from cycle of birth and death happens. So, Paramatma is observing everything, all the activities which we are doing. Nothing is going unnoticed. Whatever hidden, unhidden activities we are doing, everything is being noted by Paramatma. So it's very important that we are honest with ourselves in terms of spirituality, understand its importance, and thereby perfect the human form of life, following in the footsteps of Parikshit Maharaj as he did. So I thank all the devotees. Thank you very much for kindly giving your valuable time and tolerating me. In case some devotee has some question, some comment, then we stay for some minutes. Otherwise, we conclude. Yes, Prabhu.
So I have a couple of questions. So one is regarding this verse from Bhagavad Gita, that will be Pranipatena. So yeah, of course we know like all, not only in our tradition but other traditions also they accept gurus.
Yes.
But with this verse, because even many lectures we hear devotees quoting this verse, like here Krishna says, Jnaninas tattva-darśibhiḥ, but there is no mention of guru, so like where he like tells in the verse that we should submissively do service and hear from great devotee or sadhu. Jnaninas tattva-darśibhiḥ, but how do you understand that here Krishna is telling only guru?
There is one more in Bhagavad Gita, Gurum Prapadye Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. I don't remember the whole verse. I will send you, I will search after the lecture, where Krishna clearly says one has to accept a guru. And not only this, Srimad Bhagavatam describes that one has to accept a guru. There are many verses, many examples of how a person must accept a spiritual master. For example, when Prahlad Maharaj is praying to Lord Narsimhadev, and Narsimhadev is that time glorifying Prahlad, how great his devotion is. That time Prahlad says, it is not my glory, it is glory of my Guru, Narad Muni, who gave me this knowledge. Even if we see the case of Parikshit Maharaj, he is taking guidance from Shukdev Goswami at that most critical hour. Even if we see case of Lord Ram, he has gone with Valmiki and learned the art. Yes. So best example in Kali Yuga for us is Lord Chaitanya, right? And Chaitanya Charitamrita very clearly described that Lord Chaitanya also accepted a spiritual master. Who is his spiritual master? Ishwar Puri. Lord Chaitanya appeared in this world to set an example how to practice Bhagavad Gita. Because in Kali Yuga, the understanding of many things becomes limited because Kali Yuga has a very deep impact of the sinful reactions, right? Somehow or other, directly, indirectly, we are always involved in some sinful activities. So therefore, Lord Chaitanya, to give a proper understanding how to practice Bhagavad Gita, how to practice Srimad Bhagavatam, he personally descended. Krishna Varnam Tvasha Krishnam. Krishna personally comes. And he is setting for us an example how to do it. And we clearly see he accepted a spiritual master, a living spiritual master. Many times people say, I will accept some Acharya as Guru and that is sufficient. But we see the case of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't did that, right? Even Srila Prabhupada, who is our Acharya, he accepted a spiritual master. So Srila Prabhupada has said, Mahajano yena gathasya pantha. What Mahajan, great souls have done, we have to follow their example. Because our mind may give some mundane interpretation on some verses or some context, it may happen. So how to solve that? How to realize that I am practicing Bhagavad Gita as it is? Mahajano yena gathasya pantha. We follow the footsteps of great soul. And the best Mahajan for all of us is Lord Chaitanya, is Krishna himself. He accepted a spiritual master, I also accept a spiritual master. He chanted the holy name, I also chant the holy name. Lord Chaitanya read Srimad Bhagavatam every day, I also read Srimad Bhagavatam every day. Very simple, right? Does it answer your question?
Yeah, Prabhu. Yes. And one more, because knowing from example of a devotee, so uh, for example, like even they sometimes come to Krishna consciousness and then they get to know about books and they even read it. But due to unfortunate situation, they get associated with, I don't know, maybe other sampradaya.
Yes.
So even like how to see that, like in that case should be necessarily, like again try to like bring to this path, or like even they also have Guru Parampara, the other traditions, so should we leave them so that they make their own experience, or what should be?
Yeah, so we have to give free will. Even Krishna gives free will for everyone, right? This is the best thing which we can do for them. So we give them the knowledge and then give the free will to a person, what he or she wants to do. And then automatically a result will manifest. So a very good quality of Dankeli Mataji we see is she also gives a free will. She gives some services and then she gives a free space for us that you do this service, this is your department. So this is how a best preacher work. We give them the knowledge, we give them the facility, and then let the person do what he wants to do. Even Krishna also does that. Krishna never interferes with the free will. Krishna, someone wants to do his service, he give him spiritual world. Someone don't want to do service, he gives them the material world. And he have made all the facilities, rules, regulation in this material world also we see, right? So we have to give free will to everyone. And if someone is inspired by Srila Prabhupada, if someone is inspired, understanding and want to practice the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, we give them the knowledge through books. We give them the knowledge by daily Srimad Bhagavatam class. We give them the knowledge through daily Bhagavad Gita class. We give them the knowledge in Sunday feast lecture. And then it's up to the individual jiva what they want to do with this knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So we cannot alter things beyond a situation. Let Krishna and the Jiva decide what they want. But for our own self, we have to be as much as strict as possible and try to follow the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya, because he is the best Mahajan for all of us. Best example is or Srila Prabhupada. They are the best. No problems. So we try to follow, and difficulties will come, challenges will come, and we overcome that. Yeah. Does it answer your question? Okay. Hare Krishna. We have a very good Mahajan with us, Dankeli Mataji. Srila Prabhupada, in his will, in one of his letters to Bhakti Bhushan Swami Maharaj, he has expressed a desire that I want a center or a temple in Munich. It's clearly written. And we have a person who has established it. So, a person who has fulfilled the desire of Prabhupada, who has pleased Srila Prabhupada so much. So Prabhupada left this world almost 40 years ago or 50 years ago, 1977. So I think almost 50 years now.
40 years. 40 years.
And we opened a temple now, right? So after 50 years, fulfilling desire of a great person, it really requires spiritual advancement. So we are in a very good situation, I will say, because especially in Germany, in Munich also, material life also is not that bad, right, compared to other countries. And we have a very good facility of performing devotional service also, and we have a good example also, who are pure in their consciousness, not mixed with other motivation, right? So it's a great fortune which the deities have given us, which Krishna has given us, which La Prabhupada has given us, and now it's our will if we use it, because if we don't use it, then Yamdutas are coming. Anyway, so it's our own choice. Okay, does it answer your question? Hare Krishna. Okay, so then any more comments, questions? Okay, if no question, no comment, then thank you very much to all the devotees. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Be ended. Okay.